All right, let's talk about how to build velocity fast. If you've ever seen players jump 5 to 10 miles an hour in 2 to 3 months, this is how they're doing it. These are the three main components when it comes to building velocity. You have strength, flexibility, and mechanics. Let's start with the slowest one, which is strength. Strength takes a while to build up, but it's not just lift heavy, get big, throw hard. It's a big component to it, but you also need to worry about elastic strength and explosive strength. One thing that a lot of coaches are teaching you to do now is lift heavy and then immediately do an explosive lift right after that. So if you're doing squats, squat heavy, immediately do some box jumps after. It'll help build that explosive strength on top of building a heavy squat and getting your legs bigger. Flexibility is much faster than building strength. Why? Because players have been playing their entire life, so they already have shoulders built up. They already have a bit of back strength. They already have a little bit of leg strength, even if you haven't been lifting that often. But with flexibility, as you grow, you actually get tighter, right? So as your growth plates fuse, you get taller. You know, now all of a sudden you used to be able to touch your toes, and you can't even do that anymore. So when we talk about building flexibility, it's not just spending 15 minutes here and there doing some stretches before throwing. You need to go in with a plan, just like you would with lifting, and spend 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, building that hip mobility specifically, and any bit of leg flexibility that you can get to help build separation between your shoulders and your legs. Now, mobility is not the same as flexibility. They're very similar. But mobility involves being able to use that flexibility while activating some muscles, right? So that's where people talk about mobility. They're talking about being able to be flexible in an athletic position while firing those muscles. Now let's talk about mechanics. And this is how you see people jump from 5 to 10 miles an hour. And you can say, I've got a great coach. I've been working with him for years. We're doing great. I'm throwing strikes. But the mechanics that you had a year or two ago are not going to be the same mechanics that you have now, because you built the strength and you built the flexibility. So that comfortable way of throwing that you've been throwing for a while is not the same as what you need to do to build velocity. You need to work on overextending those hips, right? Putting your arm in a more reached position than it used to be able to go. You need to activate those legs more than you used to, right? And it may not feel comfortable at first. You may go to throwing less strikes. But in order to build proper mechanics, you need to use what's available to your body at the time. So when you were a kid, or say 15, 16, you couldn't touch your toes, and you're throwing 75. Now all of a sudden you've opened up those hips, you can throw harder, but you're still throwing with the same mechanics that you used to throw last year. And that's how these guys that go to these camps for 2 or 3 months, they've been building strength, they've been building flexibility. Now they need to reevaluate their biomechanics and look at what inefficiencies that they have that they physically couldn't do before. But now you can open up those hips more, you can get more torsion, right? And now you can throw harder. So when we talk about velocity, you need all three of these. These two build up over time, and then you now reevaluate your mechanics and work on more flexibility while throwing, right? And more reach while throwing. And that is how players jump 3 to 5 miles an hour in a matter of 2 months, because they already have the built-in strength, they have the flexibility, and now they have a coach that can teach them new mechanics, right, for their body. Now, if you want, I can go into detail on every single one of these three categories in separate videos. Thanks for watching.